Welcome to day 2 of the Creepypasta Spook-fest. Now with 50% more candle. So, today's story was Inbound Calls Only. This one comes from Reddit, which... okay. I'm no stranger to Reddit stories, but I don't have a Reddit myself, so... please don't kill me, Miss Scribbler. Anyway, Inbound Calls Only was... okay. I know in my last story in my last review, I said that the best psychological horrors have some kind of mystery to them. I think I do have to put an asterisk on that one, because... there are... I'm not going to say this was a bad story. It definitely has that uncomfortable element to it. But I think what made Psychosis good was the fact that at the end of the day, personally speaking, I could, on some level, relate to the narrator in that story. Here, I'm not really reading this as someone who can relate. I'm reading this more as an outside observer. Which I assume some people are reading Psychosis as well. And it's not like I have to... it's not like I have to relate some way to enjoy a story. I mean, my favorite books are like The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, Coraline, Mrs. Brisby and the Rats of Nim, and I'm fairly certain that I'm not a girl who's taken away from her home by a magical tornado, a girl who is possibly being kidnapped and for sustenance from a monster that claims to be another version of my family member, or a female mouse that is desperately trying to save the lives of one of their children from the prospects of a crushing farm plow. But that's stuff in a broad sense. It more gets down to little details. But there's also more of the sense that I like Dorothy and Coraline and Mrs. Frisbee. But maybe I'm just overthinking it. Maybe it's just an interesting story with a bit of an uncomfortable feel. Again, it's not a bad story. I definitely have read worse. And you know, at the end of the day, I gotta say, a story that is interesting is still better than a story that isn't. But I think at the end of the day, I would have to say that... another fruit fly. Probably the same one from the last video. But I would have to say that this one's fine. Probably not going to be in one of my favorites. But hey, it's still a good story, so we're 2 for 2. So now, what shall the next story be? Find out tomorrow on the Creepypasta Spook-fest. Ooh. I put out the candle with my ooh. You know I'm serious.